Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel, The Backwoods Stacker. So today I'm going to go over some old US paper notes and show some of the changes throughout the years. But first I want to talk about some of the seal colors and their meanings, and that's going to be for most of the notes printed in 1900. So the first one is going to be the green seal notes, which I have one right here. Now these are Federal Reserve notes. These are what we commonly use today. So these are issued from the Federal Reserve. The second one is going to be the blue seal notes. And these are silver certificates. And these were notes that you could redeem for actual silver coinage. So for this one, $1 in silver payable to the bearer on demand. Now the third one is going to be the red seal notes. Now these are United States notes. As you can see, it's denoted at the top up there. And these were issued at a time when money was redeemable for both gold and silver. And this was backed only by the credit of the U.S. government. And fourth one is going to be the yellow, or as I like to call them, the gold seal notes, which that'll be this one right here. And these were notes that were actually redeemable for gold. So for example, this one, you can see $20 in gold coin payable to the bearer on demand. Of course, I'll show more of that one later. The next one, I do not currently have any of these anymore, but that's going to be the yellow seal notes. Now, compared to the gold one, these will be like really, really bright yellow. These were notes that were issued during World War II for North Africa. And then we also have the brown seal notes. Now these were issued notes for Hawaii, but the Hawaii notes also have Hawaii actually printed on the back of the notes. So with that out of the way, let's check out some of the $1 denominations. Alright, so for our first one, let's see, we have a 1928. And you can see that we have a big one right here. And we have the blue seal on the left side. And flip it over. Now these are what they refer to as the funny backs. I definitely like them. They're pretty ornate. Definitely nice border. But I do like the backs of these notes. So it's a 1928. Now, as you'll notice some of the difference between the next one. The next one's going to be a 1934, so we'll see the seal move from the left to the right. Instead of a written out one, we'll actually get a actual blue one on the left-hand side. So this is 1934. And this is the last year of the so-called funny back notes. Definitely fairly nice. Now as we go on to 1935, we'll notice that the one gets removed from the back of the seal, so it's just pure one right there. Also adds the $1 there, and then instead of the blue one, it just comes with a regular one. And one thing I did forget to note, though, with the 1928 compared to all the other ones, is the 1928 does say $1 silver payable to the bearer on demand, whereas all the other ones say $1 in silver payable. So now we're going to move on to the 1957. Now these are pretty much the same between the 1935s, but a little bit newer. And then, of course, to what we have today is the Federal Reserve note. So we remove the one denomination and put the Federal Reserve bank it comes from, and then we actually have the Federal Reserve seal here. And then we've also re-added the one back to it as well. And this is a star note. Alright, now on to the $2 bills. Alright, so now on to the $2 bills. So here we have a 1928 $2. And these, I do like the backs of these guys. And the next one I have is a 1953. And as we notice, the seal is moving from the left side to the right side. We are minimizing the 2, and then we're adding a regular 2 to the left side. And this one we still have the nice back to it. And then for the next one, we're really going to switch things up. And of course, I know this one does have a stamp on it, but it's still kind of the same. So we're switching from the red seal to the green seal for this one. And of course, the Federal Reserve Bank right there. And now this one actually has a really, really nice back to this one. So this is what we currently have right now. So this is them signing the Declaration of Independence. And I just like all the detail in it. Alright, and that's all for the $2 bills. Now on to the 5s. Alright, now on to the $5. So first we'll start with the silver certificate. So here's a $5 of 1953. So we got a blue seal here on the right and a regular number 5 on the left. Let me check out the back. Silver certificate, and now we have a United States note. So this one will be slightly different. So we changed from a blue to a red seal, and we still have the regular number 5 on the left hand side. However, with this one it will be slightly different. For 1963 they added the "In God We Trust" above the Lincoln Memorial. United States note. Now let's go on to the Federal Reserve notes. Now this is an early one. So this is 1934. So we have a green seal here on the right, and then we have the Federal Reserve Bank here on the left. And this is 1934, so we do not have the "In God We Trust" we have on the top. Now on to the next one. Now the next one's going to be a 1950, and I'll kind of bring it up here to show you differences between the two. So the seal size and the number 5 will get a little bit smaller. Same thing with the Federal Reserve's bank seal. That will become a little bit smaller. So here we have a 1950. Now on to a newer one. So this is a 1988. Now this is going to be almost exactly similar to the 1950, with the exception of the back, which does have "In God We Trust." Alright, now on to the $10 bills. Alright, now on to the $10 bills. So now, today we have a treat for this one. So for the $10, I know it's going to be a slight exception to the rule. This is actually a early Federal Reserve note that actually does have the blue seal on it. Now, this is going to be one of my favorite notes. mostly because this series, which is the 1914, has probably the most beautiful backs to any note. So without further ado, let me flip this over and show you. Now this is just a beautiful one. So on the left is supposed to show our beginning, our agricultural side to the country, and then as we go to the right, it transitions over to the industrial side. So it just kind of shows the American transformation. Kind of a little up close. Very, very beautiful note. Alright, so now I have a Federal Reserve note, 1950. Alright. And one I probably should have started with first was the 1934. So we'll notice the differences between the two is, for the newer notes, the lettering gets a little bit smaller, and same thing with the Federal Reserve Bank seal as well. Check out the back. And even though it is paper currency, I do have to say the backs do look very, very nice. Alright, now on to the $20 bills. Alright, so here we have the $20 bills. I do have one special one. I do have the gold certificate. This is a $20 in gold coin, payable to the bearer on demand. So back in the day, you could have gotten a double eagle for this. Nowadays, you're lucky to get a 10th ounce gold piece for it. Certificate is legal tender, and the amount thereof in payment of all debts and dues, public and private. Acts of March 14th, 1900, as amended on December 24th, 1919. Very nice note, and it's kind of cool to see George Washington on an actual $20 bill instead of a $1. Let's flip the back. Now, I know mine's a little rough, but it's still nice. It's still a cool piece of history. Got the eagle in the middle. And that is a gold certificate if you have never seen one. Definitely like that one. I don't think I'm going to part with it. That and the $10 Federal Reserve note from 1914, I don't think I'll ever get rid of those. Alright, so we have an early one. Early Federal Reserve notes. This is a 1928. And we'll notice back then that the Federal Reserve Bank, instead of having letters like A, B, C, and D, these actually had numbers on them. So it's like an interesting thing that I've noticed. And redeemable in gold on demand at the United States Treasury, or in gold or lawful money at any Federal Reserve Bank. It's cool when you actually find money that says that. Here's the back. Alright, next, we go on to the 1934. And this is where you get your standard. This note is legal tender for all debts, public and private, and is redeemable in lawful money at United States Treasury or any Federal Reserve Bank. And of course, as you know, from a number, it actually turns back into the letters. And then a newer one. So this is a 1969. And now we're down to this note is legal tender for all debts, public and private. And the seal got a little bit smaller too as well. Same thing with the lettering as well. I believe this one has a little bit more plants on it. Alright, and that's all for the $20 bills. Now I do have some cool older notes that I figured I'd show you guys. So here I have one for Banco de Mexico for una peso. So it looks like July 1943. And the one thing funny about this is you have the American Banknote Company that actually produced this. Check out the back. Alright, then another one I have is a Allied military currency from 1943. And I just saw this, and I think I only paid like $1 or so for it. But definitely kind of cool, interesting note. So freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom from want, and freedom from fear. Allied military currency. And of course, you couldn't finish it off without good old Utah Goldback. 2019 edition. But of course, like everyone else, I got this one for free. Can't go wrong with free 99. So that is the end of my video. I definitely thank you all for watching. If there's anything cool that I didn't mention in this video, definitely be sure to put it down in the comments below so we can all discuss on it and learn from it too as well. And of course, as always, wherever you are, keep on stacking.